Shri Ganapati Sharada Gurubhyo Namaha Charitam Raghunathasya Shatakoti Pravistaram Ekikamaksharam Pumsam Mahapatakanashanam. Welcome to all for this session on Sri Rama Charitha Manasa. As we saw in the last chapter, the marriage of Shiva and Parvati was to happen in a great way, and finally Shiva and Parvati returned back to Kailasa. And one day Shiva was resting under the great banyan tree, at which Parvati approached him. Seated there, the destroyer of Cupids looked like an incarnation of the sentiment of quietism. Finding it a good opportunity, Mother Bhavani called on Shambhu in recognition of her wifely love. Lord Hara showed her great courtesy and assigned her a seat on his left side. Parvati gladly sat down beside Shiva and recalled the history of her past life, assuming that her lord cherished in his heart greater love for her than before. Uma smilingly spoke the following sweet words to him. The daughter of Himalaya sought to elicit from her lord the story which is profitable to the whole world. O Lord of the universe, O my master, O slayer of the demon Tripura, your glory is known to all the three spheres. Animate as well as inanimate beings, nagas, men, and gods all do homage to your lotus feet. My Lord, you are all powerful, all wise, and all blissful. You are a repository of all of arts and virtues, and a storehouse of yoga, wisdom, and dispassion. Your name itself is a wish yielding tree, as it were, to the suppliant. O blissful Lord, if you are pleased with me and know me to be your faithful servant, then my master disperse my ignorance by repeating to me the various stories of the Lord of Raghus. Why should he who has his abode beneath a wish yielding tree undergo the suffering born of want? Bearing this in mind, O Lord, with crescent on the forehead, dispel the great confusion of my mind. O Lord, the sages who discourse on the supreme realities speak of Rama as the Brahma who has no beginning. Shesha and Sharada, as well as the Vedas and the Puranas, all sing praises of the Lord of Raghus. You too, O subduer of love, reverently repeat the word Rama night and day. Is this Rama the same as the son of the king of Ayodhya, or some other unborn, unqualified, and imperceptible being? If a king's son, how could he be Brahma the infinite? And if he were Brahma, how could his mind get unhinged by the loss of his wife? When I see his acts on the one hand and hear of his glory on the other, my mind gets utterly confused. If my Lord, there is any other desireless, all pervading, and all powerful Brahma, instruct me about the same. Be not angry at my folly, but take steps to wipe out my ignorance. In the world, in my previous birth, I witnessed Sri Rama's glory, although I was too abstracken to tell you. Yet my mind was so impure that I did not understand, and I reaped a good return for my folly. Some doubt still lingers in my mind. Be gracious to me. I implore you with joined palms. Lord, you instructed me when then in ways more than one. Yet I did not understand. Do not allow this thought to anger you. I have no such delusion now. I find developed in me a taste for hearing the story of Rama, recount the sacred virtues of Sri Rama, O Lord of immortals, having the serpent king Shesha for an ornament. Placing my head on the ground, I adore your feet and entreat you with joined palms to recount the unsullied glory of the chief of Raghus, giving in substance the conclusion of the revealed text of the Vedas on the subject. Though as a woman I am not qualified to hear it, I am your servant in thought, word, and deed. Saints do not withhold even an esoteric truth whenever they find a person smitten with agony and therefore qualified to receive it. I ask you with a heart sore distressed, be gracious enough to narrate the story of the Lord of Raghus. First, tell me, after a mature thought, what makes unqualified Brahma assume a qualified form. Then, my lord, relate the story of Sri Rama's descent and tell me next the charming exploits of his childhood. Then let me know how he wedded Janaka's daughter Sita and the fault for which he had to renounce his father's kingdom later on. Then describe the innumerable deeds performed by him while he lived in the forest and further tell me, my lord, how he killed Ravana, then relate, O blissful Shankara, all the numerous sports that were enacted by him after his coronation. Thereafter relate, O gracious Lord, the miracle wrought by Rama, namely how that jewel of Raghu's line proceeded to his divine abode along with all his subjects. Then expound, my lord, the truth in the realization of which enlightened sages remain absorbed, and thereafter discuss in detail the conceptions of devotion, gnana, or knowledge of the formless, absolute, vijnana, or the knowledge of the qualified divinity with and without form and dispassion. Over and above this, O Lord of purest understanding, reveal to me the many other mysteries connected with Rama, and if there be anything which I have omitted to ask, do not keep it back. My gracious Lord, you are the preceptor of all the three spheres, so declare the Vedas. What can other poor creatures know? Shiva was glad at heart to hear these questions of Uma, naturally pleasing and guileless as they were. All the exploits of Rama flashed on his mind. The hair of his body bristled with rapture and his eyes filled with tears. The figure of Sri Rama was reflected on the mirrors of his heart. This brought immense joy to Shiva, who is an embodiment of supreme bliss himself. For an hour or so, Shiva was so For an hour or so, Shiva was lost in the ecstasy of meditation. He then recovered himself and thereafter began joyfully to tell the story of Rama. Shiva replying back to Parvati now. Due to the lack of knowledge about Sri Rama, even the unreal passes for real, just as ignorance about a rope leads us to mistake it for a snake. Even so, the moment we know him, the world of matter vanishes just as the delusion of a dream disappears as soon as we wake up. Him do I reverence in the form of a child, the repetition of whose name brings all kinds of success within our easy reach. May that home of bliss and bane of woe take compassion on me, he who sports in the courtyard of King Dasharatha, after thus paying homage to Rama, the slayer of Jaman Tripura, joyfully spoke in mellifluous accents as follows: You are indeed blessed and worthy of applause, O daughter of the mountain king. There is no such benefactor as you. You have asked me to repeat the history of the Lord of Raghus, who is potent and which is potent enough to sanctify all the spheres, even as the Ganga purifies the whole world. You are full of love for the feet of the hero of Raghu's race. You have put questions to me only with an eye to the good of the world. By the blessing of Rama, O Parvati, not even in dream can grief, infatuation, doubt, or error enter your mind so far as I can judge. Yet you have expressed the same old doubts again, so that all those who repeat or hear this account may be benefited thereby. The ears of those who have never heard the stories of Sri Hari are no better than snake holes. The eyes of those who have not blessed them with the sight of saints are as good as the sham eyes in a peacock's tail. The heads that bow not at the souls of Srihari or of one's preceptor are just like bitter pumpkins. Those who have cherished not in their heart the spirit of devotion to Srihari are as good as dead through living. The tongue that does not sing the praises of Rama is just like the tongue of a frog. The heart which does not rejoice to hear the tales of Srihari is hard as adamant and cruel indeed. Fear, O Girija, the exploits of Sri Rama which prove beneficial to the gods and mystify the demons. Like the cow of plenty, the story of Rama bestows all blessings on those who devote themselves to it, and the assemblages of saints are the various abodes of gods. Knowing this, who would not listen to it? The story of Rama is the lovely clap of hand palms which scares away the birds of doubt. Even so, the story of Rama is the axe to the tree of Kali Yuga, the impurities of Kali age. Listen to it with reverence, O daughter of the mountain king. The charming names of Sri Rama as well as his virtues, stories, births and deeds have all been declared by the Vedas to be beyond number. As there is no end to the divine Rama, even so his stories, glory, and virtues are also endless. At seeing your great love, I will tell them even as I have heard of them to the best of my intellectual capacity. Uma, your inquiries are naturally winning and delightful, and such as are approved of by the saints. As for myself, I am particularly pleased to hear them. But there was one thing, Bhavani, which I did not like, although you uttered it under a spell of delusion. You suggested that the Rama whom the Vedas extol and on whom the sages contemplate is someone else because there is only one Rama who is none other than the incarnation of Brahma himself. Such words are spoken and heard by those vile men alone who are possessed by the devil of infatuation, or impious and averse to the feet of Srihari, and know no difference between truth and falsehood. Foolish, ignorant, and blind wretches, the mirror of whose heart is clouded by the film of sensuality, lecherous, deceitful, and grossly perverse, who have never seen an assemblage of holy men even in a dream, and who have no sense of gain and loss. They alone make statements which are repugnant to the Vedas. The mirror of their heart is soiled, and they have no eyes to see. How then can those wretched souls behold the beauty of Sri Rama? For those who have no knowledge either of the unqualified Brahma or of the qualified divinity, who indulge in fanciful utterances of various kinds and who spin round in this world under the influence of Srihari's deluding potency. No assertion is too absurd to make. Those who are delirious of or mad, those who are possessed, and those who are inebriated do not talk sense. None should give ear to the ravings of those who have drunk the wine of infatuation. Thus assured in your heart, discard all doubts and adore Sri Rama's feet. O daughter of the mountain king, hear my words, which are sunbeams as it were for the darkness of error. There is no difference between qualified divinity and the unqualified Brahma. So declare the sages and the men of wisdom, the Vedas and the Puranas, that which is attributeless and formless, imperceptible and unborn, becomes qualified under the influence of the devotee's love. How can the absolute become qualified? In the same way as water and the hailstone are none different in substance. Infatuation is out of the question for him whose very name is like the sun to the darkness of error. Sri Rama, who is truth, consciousness, and bliss combined, is like the sun. The night of ignorance cannot subsist in him, even to the smallest degree. He is the Lord whose very being is light. There is no dawn of understanding in his case, for the dawn presupposes night, and night there is none in the sunlight of Sri Rama. Joy and grief, knowledge and ignorance, egoism and pride, these are the characteristics of a Jiva who is an finite being. Sri Rama is the all pervading Parabrahma. He is supreme bliss personified, the highest Lord and the most ancient being. The whole world knows about it. He who is universally known as the Spirit, the fount of light, manifest in all forms, and is the Lord of life as well as of matter. That jewel of Raghu's line is my master. So saying, Shiva bowed his head to him. Fools do not perceive their own error. On the other hand, those stupid creatures attribute infatuation to the Lord, such as on seeing the sky covered with clouds, men of unsound judgment declare that the sun has been screened by the clouds. To him who sees with a finger stuck into his eyes, the moon appears as doubled. Uma, infatuation is attributed to Rama in the same way as darkness, smoke, or dust appears in the sky. the object of the senses and their presiding deities, as well as the jiva, the embodied soul, all these derive their illumination one from the other. That is to say, the objects are illumined by the senses are illumined by their presiding deities, and the deities presiding over the senses are illumined by the conscious self. The supreme illuminator of them all is the eternal Rama, the king of Ayodhya. The world of matter is the object of illumination, while Rama is its illuminator. He is the Lord of Maya and the abode of wisdom and virtues. It is due to his reality that even unconscious matter appears as real through ignorance. Just as a shell is mistaken for silver and a mirage for water, even though the appearance is false at all times in the past, present, and future, nobody can dispel this illusion. In a like manner, if is this world of matter superimposed on Hari, though unreal, it gives us pain nonetheless. Just as if a man's head is cut off in a dream, he is not rid of pain till he wakes. Girija, he whose grace wipes out such delusion, is none else than the benevolent Lord of Raghus. Nobody has ever, nobody has been able to discover his beginning or end. Basing their conclusions on speculation, the Vedas have described him in the following words: he walks without feet, hears without ears, and performs actions of various kinds, even without hands. He enjoys all tastes without a mouth and is a most clever speaker, even though devoid of speech. He touches without a body, the tactile sense, sees without eyes, and catches all odors even without a nose, the olfactory sense. His ways are thus supernatural in every respect, and his glory is beyond description. He who is thus extolled by the Vedas and men of wisdom, and whom the sages love to contemplate, is no other than the divine Rama, son of Dasharatha, lord of Ayodhya, the friend of his devotees. When I behold any creature dying in the holy Kashi, the modern Varanasi, it is by the power of his name that I rid it of all sorrows and liberate them. He is my Lord, the chief of Raghus, the sovereign of all creation, animate as well as inanimate, the witness of all hearts. If men repeat his name even in a helpless state, sins committed by them in a series of previous existences are burnt away, while those who devotedly remember him are able to cross the ocean of mundane existence as if it were a mere hollow made by the hoof of a cow. Rama is no other than that supreme spirit, Bhavani. Your assertion that he is subject to delusion is wholly unwarranted. The moment a man harbors such a doubt in his mind, his wisdom, discretion, and all other virtues bid adieu to him. When Parvati heard of Shiva's illuminating words, the whole structure of her sophistry collapsed. Attachment and devotion to the feet of Lord of Raghu sprang in her heart, and her shocking incredibly disappeared. Clasping the lotus feet of her Lord again and again and joining her lotus like palms, Parvati spoke the following fine words, steeping them as it were in a nectar of love. Now that I have listened to your words, which were refreshing as moonbeams, my ignorance, like the feverish heat of autumnal sunshine, has faded away. You have removed all my doubt, O gracious Lord, and the reality of Rama has been revealed to me. By your grace, my Lord, my gloom has been lifted, and I feel happy now by the blessings of my Lord's feet. Now, regarding me as your slave, even though I am a woman, ignorant and stupid by nature, answer my former question. If you are pleased with me, my Lord, Rama, I now understand, is no other than the indestructible Brahma, the God, who is consciousness itself and who, though bereft of all, yet dwells in the heart of all. Why did he take the form of a human being? Explain this to me, O Shankara. Hearing Uma's most polite words and seeing her unadulterated love for the story of Sri Rama, the all merciful and all wise Shankara, the destroyer of stupid, was glad at heart and extolling Uma in many ways. He said, so from here onward, Shiva continued to tell her the reason why the all-pervading Parabrahma took the incarnation as a man on this earth, because there are many reasons for the same, and Shiva will enlist all the reasons. Namaste Sharada Devi Kashmir Puravasini Twamaham Prarthaye Nityam Vidya Danancha Dehime. Goodbye.
श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपाल भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम् श्रीरामचन्द्र कृपाल भज मन हरण भव भय दारुणम् श्रीराम 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 श्रीराम